welcome here into Peninsula Oilers versus Matsu Miners action as we have just started Game 2 of a doubleheader between the Oilers and the Miners. As we sit at a 1-0 count on Josh Morozic, and he takes that one called strike one. 0-1 on Josh. Morozic back in center field here in game number 2. Played out there, actually made some really nice plays in game 1. Or rather, it's David Bermudez to the plate. Bermudez 1 and 2. So jumped the gun a little bit. Morozic is in the 2-hole. David Bermudez leading off. Bermudez had a hit in game 1 and then had another shot up the middle that was called an error, but would have been a tough play to make by the shortstop Cole Moore. So almost 2 hits for Bermudez as he takes that one in the dirt. 2-2 on David Bermudez from Rider University. Starting pitcher today for the Oilers is Ben Briggs from the University of Pitt Johnstown. Had a bunch of strikeouts this year, but was unable to keep that ERA down for Pitt Johnstown as the 2-2 pitch is swung on and flied pretty fairly towards the line, and scooting over the line in right field is the right fielder Soiko. One away, Bermudez retired.
And that's similar to where he got his actual blooper shot to land last time. As Bermudez couldn't quite get there, Soika seems to be playing a bit further up this game.
F9.
It was a foul out.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. You got me. Back up to the plate is Josh Morozic, the center fielder, as he takes ball 1 there. Morozic batting for the left side as always against the right-handed throwing Briggs.
And a huge thing for the Miners is definitely going to be making sure they're active and on the bases early in this one again. Obviously, that led to some early insurance in the first part of this doubleheader.
Morozic goes ahead here, 2-0. If Morozic could reach. We didn't see him try to swipe a base, even though he got a board in game 1. But gets a board here. Expect him to be running. Here's the 2-0, and it missed upstairs. So the Kent State Golden Flash, Josh Morozic, now way ahead in the count, 3-0. Casey Rother in the on-deck circle. The Miners lineup goes Bermudez, Morozic, Rother in right field, Rando DHing, Tyler Wilson. Didn't play in game 1, active for game 2 in left field as Morozic takes strike 1. Batting 6th is Sam Thompson. He's behind the plate. 7th is Mike Ferreira. He's over at first. Batting 8th at third base, Jared Sweeney, and in the 9-hole, shortstop J.D. Urso. Here's the 3-1 pitch. It's a fastball off the plate, so Josh Morozic works a 1-out walk here in the first, and that's going to bring up Casey Rother, who extended his hitting streak with a RBI single in the 7th for that 3-1 win in Game 1. Give the Miners a nice insurance run.
He always likes to push it to the last moment, just in case it comes to his final at-bat. He'll always try and make sure you think about it, but he almost always delivered. The most consistent hitter on this team now at 19 hits on the season.
His first pitch to Rother is a check swing, and he went around in the dirt, 0-1. Coming up here Saturday at Herman Brothers Field, we have yoga in the ballpark with the team starting at 10 a.m. So if you can make the trip over to Herman Brothers Field, that would definitely be a good one. You get to see some of the Miners do some yoga. There's some of them into it, though. I'll give them that.
Oh, yeah. We saw a couple of the pitchers doing their own yoga in the hall where they're all staying here in Peninsula.
I haven't gotten started on the yoga, but Christian Steelhorse was the one telling me about it and trying to get me to go to a class actually in Wasilla. So here's the 0-1 pitch. It's a swing and a miss on a breaking ball from Briggs. Good pitch there, 0-2.
Nothing wrong with a good amount of yoga, getting you stretched out and ready for the day.
Can obviously help with stretching, and I am not the least flexible person, so hopefully that could help me. 0-2 here on Rother. Morozic aboard at first, checked over to first. Ball squirts away from the first baseman Marsh, and Morozic is going to move up to second.
Obviously some speed on Morozic as well, but Marsh really didn't seem like he was in a whole lot of hustle or hurry to get to that ball after it squirted past him. Maybe saw him slide back and thought Morozic would just give up on the play, but not the case as Morozic moves into scoring position now.
So Briggs with a throwing error there moves Morozic up to second. 1 on, 1 out. Casey Rother in an 0-2 hole now as Briggs comes to the set. Here it comes on 0-2. Fastball called, strike 3. Oh, that was right on the inside part of the plate, and Home plate umpire giving him that, and it's 2 away now. And Tyler Rando will step to the plate. Rando in as Morozic takes off for third. The throw's in the dirt, and Morozic's going to get there. How about that? Josh Morozic, even with 2 outs. You never want to make the last out of the inning at third base, but Morozic with tons of speed easily makes it in there. That'll go down as a stolen base for Morozic.
And right after you were saying no stolen bases in the first game, he seems eager to be on it in this one.
He's moved himself all the way over to third. Here's the pitch to Rando. And it missed low, so Rando now ahead 2-0. Good hitter's count for the designated hit for the Miners. He's getting his first start in the 4-hole cleanup spot this year. He's batted mostly in the 5-hole all year.
Didn't collect a hit in the first part of this doubleheader either, but in the second part of this rubber match, you know he wants to bring one across.
As he swings and grounds one into the hole, and the shortstop Moore is not going to be able to field that ball cleanly. It'll be interesting to see if that'll be an error or a hit. Would have been a tough play regardless, but Tyler Rando is able to get Josh Morozic home from third, and that's what you were saying. Morozic able to move up to second on that throwing error over to first, and then steals third, and that if he doesn't steal third there, he doesn't score.
Looks like it might go down as an error against the shortstop.
Yeah, Moore deep in the hole there. Would have been a tough play, but he definitely should have been able to field that. That is the 4th error in the field for the Oilers here in less than 8 innings of field work between the 2 games. Now step Tyler Wilson, switch hitter from Grand Canyon University, batting from the left side as he takes strike 1. Wilson was not in the lineup in the first game. Second game, he's in the 5 spot in left field. 1-1 to Wilson. Briggs checks over at the runner. Checks again. Here it comes. And it's in the dirt. Nice block by the catcher, Johnston, who's behind the plate here for game number 2. He appeared as a pinch hitter in game 1, Taylor Johnson from USC. Quick pick over to first. Back in safely is Rando.
And can't blame Briggs for being a bit more on edge after Morozic took over the bags. Rando doesn't have quite the speed he does, but Miners have been able to bring across a run without getting a single hit in this game so far.
Briggs at the set. Here it comes. Fastball called, strike 1 at the knees. So Wilson now a 2-1 count. Tyler Wilson. Or 1-2 rather. 1-2 count on Tyler Wilson.
Wilson didn't get a chance in the first game to take an at-bat either.
He takes a hack here, back up the middle, fielded by the second baseman, Antonsen. He'll go the short way to the covering, or shortstop at the second base bag, Cole Moore. So the Miners, for the second straight game of this doubleheader, open up inning number 1 with a run. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Will Johnston on the mound for the Miners. Willie Day, he'll try to keep the Oilers scoreless in the bottom of the first here from Coral Seymour Ballpark. We'll be back in just a few moments. Welcome back here from Coral Seymour Memorial Ballpark as in the bottom of the first, the Oilers will come to the plate. They're coming with a much different lineup than Game 1, obviously trying to make some adjustments. They've scored just 15 runs across 9 games so far. As here is their lineup. Batting first at shortstop, Cole Moore. Hitting second over at third base, Garrett Pennington. Batting third and DHing, it's John Hanley. Hitting fourth in the cleanup spot over at first base, Bryce Marsh. Hitting fifth, the catcher behind the plate, Taylor Johnson. Batting sixth in center field, Dylan Ditzenberger. Batting seventh in left field, Ben Grunberg. Batting eighth in right field, Andrew Soika. And then batting ninth at the Keystone second base, it's Trevor Antonsen. For the Miners, Sean will get you their defensive alignment.
Miners not mixing up nearly as much in this one. They will have Rando take over behind the plate instead of Sam Thompson. Thompson, of course, taking over the DH role instead. The biggest switch is going to be coming from the middle of the infield. Urso and Bermudez going to switch up spots. Bermudez obviously been holding down the shortstop spot ever since he arrived, but he and Urso both show a bit of versatility there. Wilson going to be inheriting the left field as Sweeney and Ferreira are going to be holding down the corners, with Sweeney on third, Ferreira on first, and of course Mrozik and Rother in center and right field respectively. With Will Johnston, Willie Day coming up on the mound, already taking over the Twitter, hoping to take over Game 2.
And taking over the Instagram as well. Will Johnston on the mound. This is his third start in a Miners uniform. His first start didn't go great, but his second one, he went 6 scoreless against these Peninsula Oilers last Monday as he delivers ball 1 in there to Cole Moore, who had the only extra base hit for the Oilers in Game 1, had a triple to right field. Johnston winds. Here comes the 1-0. It's a fastball, a called strike, low and away. 1-1. Johnston on the year. 10 2/3 innings. He's allowed 14 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them have been earned. He struck out 12. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's a swing and a foul ball out of play. So 1-2 now on Cole Moore. Moore, left-handed batter.
Moore, of course, ripped that triple in the first game. Went from the bottom of their lineup to the top, like we said before.
He swings and slashes this one down the left field line. Up with it in the left field corner is Wilson. He'll rip it into second. That's a really nice play by Tyler Wilson to relay that in. So it'll keep Moore to just a single on a softly hit ball up the third base line. And there's a leadoff single for the Oilers. They were only able to get 2 hits in Game 1, so they're already halfway there here in Game 2.
And he's definitely contributing already again. Good reason to move you someone to the top of your lineup if they're going to give you a hit off the bat. And right now, they have a man on first. Moore obviously didn't take a big round at first either. Surprising they were able to get him back, but nice throw by Wilson, like you said.
Cole Moore. A lot of speed. He's over at first base. Garrett Pennington to the plate. The first pitch is a fastball, a called strike 1 from Will Johnston from Texas A&M. Johnson looking to work ahead. Yeah, that ball wasn't hit extremely hard, but put in the perfect spot down the third base line. Sweeney couldn't get over there quick enough. Tyler Wilson, though, the speedy left fielder ranging towards the line to pick that up and fire that back into the infield. As here's the 0-1. It's a fastball and it's fouled. Back out of play. 0-2.
Johnson so far this season, he's very give and take for his pitching coach. 12 strikeouts, 14 hits, though. He does manage to keep that pretty moderate, doesn't let them all come across, obviously, only allowing 5 earned runs on the season. But he does put you in a bit of nervous situations as your pitching coach, hoping to deal like he did last game.
As he gets a swing and a miss here. Actually, a foul tip into the mitt off the bat of Garrett Pennington. Will Johnston with his first strikeout of the game, and that'll bring to the plate John Hanley. Johnston's last start was a really good one against these Peninsula Oilers in a 5-2 Miners win last Monday at Herman Brothers Field. Johnston went 6 innings, struck out 7, no runs allowed. His other start came the Miners' first win of the year, where he got a no decision against the Anchorage Bucks. Johnston sets here. The first pitch, it's a fastball called ball inside, 1-0. Johnston trying to stay on top of hitters. Love a strikeout or a ground ball here. He sets, checks the runner. Here's the 1-0. It's a fastball chipped, broken bat over the third baseman Sweeney. He can't go to second with Moore moving quickly. He'll go to first to get the out. That bat went right down the third base line. Nice concentration by Sweeney to stick with it, and there's 2 away. Coming to the plate, it'll be the left-handed Bryce Marsh.
Wasn't even a chipped bat on that one. That was pure shatter.
Yeah.
There was pieces about everywhere.
Yeah, he completely broke that sucker in half.
Giving half of it as he heads back to the dugout, but
the majority of that bat went over down the third base line. You can't really undervalue how nice of a play that was by Sweeney to stick with it and make that out. So now a runner on second, 2 away, Bryce Marsh to the plate. Marsh hit a deep drive down the right field line in game 1, but Rother came up within the corner as the first pitch is a breaking ball, ball 1 from Will Johnston.
maybe Willie's trying to make this a quick game so he can get back for some bingo tonight.
Yeah. Bingo is a necessity in Alaska. Here's the 1-0. It's popped straight up in the air. Camping under it is Urso. He's coming on. J.D. Urso will make the catch, and that'll do it here in the first. Oilers get a leadoff single and a runner up to second base, but they strand him there. We'll head to the top of the second. Miners 1, Oilers 0. We'll be back in a little bit from Coral Seymour Ballpark in just a few moments. Welcome back here in Kenai in the Peninsula as to lead off the second inning. It'll be Sam Thompson, the designated hitter. Thompson had a couple of hits in game 1, really starting to get it together at the plate. He watches ball 1 on a fastball in there. 1-0. 6, 7, 8 in the order. Sam Thompson, Mike Ferreira, Jared Sweeney. 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball, check swing. Did not go around, so Thompson ahead 2-0 in the count.
Thompson got those 2 hits, but also got on a third time as well. He and Sorelli really boosted their OPS in that last game.
Here's the 2-0. Fastball grounded to short. Up with it is Moore. He'll go to first, and that's a 6-3 ground out for Sam Thompson. Swinging at that 2-0 pitch, hit it hard, but Cole Moore able to make that play, and it's 1 away, and it's Mike Ferreira, who's had the past few days off. He really had his early season struggles, and a few days off, maybe that'll help him adjust at the plate. He absolutely raked for Westchester University in Pennsylvania this spring.
Got a few off, and like you said, part of that was for illness, part of that was for his own health and mental health, just being able to see it better.
As he swings and looked like maybe got a piece of that, it's going to be 0-1. Ferreira, big 6'4" batter, playing first base today.
And he's seen plenty of his struggling teammates get hits as well today, so getting a hit in the column for him would be a huge boost to this offense.
1-1 to Ferreira now, yeah. We saw J.D. Urso get his first minors hit. We saw David Bermudez have a really productive day. We saw Sam Thompson have a really productive game one as there's ball 2 low to Ferreira. This is his first start at first base on the year. It's been Nick Sorelli really holding that down the entire year over at first. He gets a day off in game 2, had a really nice game 1. Couple of walks and a base hit for Sorelli. Also scored a run. Here's the 2-1, grounded hard down the third baseline. That's a fair ball. Up with it in the on the left field line is Grunberg. Ferreira with a huge turnaround first. He'll have to head back there. But how about that? Mike Ferreira gets off the schneid. And like you said, the minors, the guys struggling in the lineup are the ones powering him right now. There's a 1-out single by Mike Ferreira.
It comes that point in time where everybody just needs to knock the schneid off. Sometimes you knock it off as a team, and that seems to be what the minors are doing today. Starting from the bottom of the rotation.
I'd like to thank one of our sponsors today, the Alaska Highway Safety Patrol. Jared Sweeney, third baseman. Didn't play game 1. First at bat here, game 2, as he takes a called strike on the outer edge, 0-1. Sweeney, also hailing from Lehigh, a teammate of Casey Rother. Plays the corner infield. Seen all of his starts at third except a couple at short to begin the year.
He's one of those players that didn't get a chance to play game 1 of this doubleheader either.
So there's a pick over to first base. Checking back in on Ferreira this year as a junior at Lehigh, Sweeney slashed 267, 390, 452. He took a big power jump in his junior year in Lehigh. At the set, here's the 0-1 from Briggs. Breaking ball fouled over the screen, so quickly behind 0-2 is Sweeney. Sweeney tied up Saturday's game against the Glacier Pilots with a hit by pitch, actually. Miners loaded the bases. Sweeney was hit by a pitch, and that gave the Miners the lead.
By whatever means necessary is the way to go at it.
Briggs has him now in an 0-2 hole. Holds at the set. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Looked like maybe a changeup. Sweeney down swinging. That'll bring to the plate J.D. Urso, who got his first hit in the Miners uniform in game 1. Playing shortstop in game 2, played second base in game 1. This is his first start of the year at short.
And Urso, now would be a good time to demonstrate his ability to get an extra base hit. In front of him, Ferreira isn't the speediest of the lineup, but he definitely has the capability for a guy his size to move as he gets back there.
Yeah, safely into the bag. Urso plays for his dad at the University of Tampa. Joe Urso is nearing 1,000 career wins as a Tampa Spartan. Tampa, for years and years, has been a top Division II program in the country. Urso playing that key shortstop position for the Spartans. Here comes the first pitch from Briggs, and it missed inside, snapped over to first. They're paying a lot of attention to Ferreira over there. Ferreira back in easy. Yeah, Ferreira doesn't have a big reputation as a base stealer, but checking on him quite a bit over there in the last couple of batters.
New catcher behind the plate as well with Johnston. And they saw what happened earlier. First game, Morozic able to get over the second initially, an error from the pitcher to the first base. So the more they keep pushing that, the more likely it is we're going to see another error at first.
There's a little tick into the dirt by J.D. Urso, and counts even 1-1 here on him. Not a big crowd out here tonight at Coral Seymour Ballpark, but it is pretty chilly. On a Monday night, as Urso just taps that one foul, and now he's in a 1-2 hole. No rain, at least. The past 2 games have been rained out. Saturday and Sunday, both wiped out because of rain, and the rain finally subsided today in the Peninsula, and really no rain all day today. It kind of stopped yesterday. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, hit into left center field, or actually that ball's going to die out at shortstop. Cole Moore on to make the catch. My apologies. Looked like that ball might get over his head. Instead, Cole Moore is going to make the catch. That'll be a softish line out here to end the top of the second. Miners get a runner, but can't bring him home. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Will Johnston back out for his second inning of work. We'll take a break, and we'll be back here for the bottom of the second at Coral Seymour Memorial Ballpark. Welcome back here from Coral Seymour Ballpark as we start the bottom of the second. Oilers to the plate. They got a hit in the first. Are unable to bring a runner around. Starting it off here, 5, 6, 7 in the order, Taylor Johnson. First to greet him at the plate. Johnson, as I said earlier, appeared as a pinch hitter, the USC product in Game 1. Looking for some success here against Will Johnston. Johnston, the big lefty, winds. Here it comes. Swung on, flown into short right field. Going out is Bermudez. Coming on Rother. Bermudez will be the one to make the catch. One away. One pitch, one out. Can't do it any better than that. Dylan Ditzenberger, center fielder for the Oilers, coming to the plate next. Ditzenberger, left-handed batter. Ditzenberger hailing from the University of Kansas. Trying to find some success here. Lefty on lefty matchup. First pitch is just a bit low. Ball one. Like we were saying earlier, Ditzenberger's last name doesn't fit on the back of his jersey. It's too long, so just Ditz on the back.
Could be taken as an insult if you don't read it right.
Yeah. 1-0 pitch drills the outside corner. 1-1. Yeah. I mean, you're kind of right on that one. As there's a breaking ball swung right through it, right over the top of it. Actually, Johnston gets him flailing on a curveball. Big 12-6 curve from Johnston, who offers that 1-2 now.
When you get him swinging like that, though, it becomes a pretty accurate title.
Johnston, 1-2. Missed low and outside in the dirt. So it's gone 2-2. Now, on the left-handed hitting center fielder, Dylan Ditzenberger. On deck, Ben Grunberg, who we did not see in game number 1. Johnston, back in, 2-2 pitch. Break even, on the way. Fastball called, strike 3. Ditzenberger struck out looking there. Give Johnston 2 on the day. He'll head back to the dugout. And now it is Ben Grunberg to the plate. That was a good location right there by Will Johnston.
You do have a bit of movement, too. You have the same umpires as last game, just a bit of rotation. So this time it's Roberto Patterson behind the plate.
Ben Grunberg, who had game 1 off, has really been in a deep slump to start the ABL year. He is 0 for 24 right now as he swings and misses through a breaking ball there, 0-1. Yeah, Grunberg, maybe a little bit of a mental break trying to record his first hit as he got game 1 off. He struck out 11 times. He's reached twice on a walk, 1 time, and a hit by a pitch the other. Johnston for the wind. Here's the 0-1. Fastball, swing, and a miss. That was lively out of the left hand of Will Johnston as he goes way ahead now, 0-2.
Well, hitters that are slumping are just prime prey for pitchers like Johnston. They know how to take advantage of the situation, already ahead now.
Johnston staring in. Here it comes on 0-2. Fastball swung on, popped up. Ferreira moving out. Bermudez now into foul ground. The second baseman will make the catch in foul ground. That'll be a foul out, and that'll end things here in the second. No runs, no hits, no errors. Will Johnston picks up his second strikeout. We'll head to the top of the third, and we'll be back in just a few minutes from Coral Seymour Ballpark. Welcome back here from Kenai as David Bermudez, the top of the order, the Miners' second baseman, in the box first to lead off for the Miners. Bermudez fouled out down the right field line to Andrew Soika. Ended his first at bat in the first inning as he swings and misses there, 0-1. Bermudez been hitting in the leadoff spot the last number of games. Hopefully he can make a strong transition there. Here comes the 0-1. It's swung on, hit in the air, left field, pretty deep, headed back to is Grunberg, but he'll make the catch a couple steps shy of the left center field fence. A nice play there by Ben Grunberg in left field. Bermudez gave it a ride. That might be the longest ball we've seen him hit as a minor, but regardless, that is out number 1.
Well, I was wrong in my assessment of when we would see another David Bermudez hit because the way he was going, it became deeper and deeper fly-out contact. I thought we were just going to reach a home run eventually.
Yeah, he's gearing up towards it. He gave that one a ride to the gap as Josh Mrozek in now. First pitch swinging through it, strike 1. Mrozek reached in the first on a walk, got up to second on a miscue miscue between Briggs and Marsh, and then stole third, scored on an error by the shortstop Moore. Swings through another one. It's 0-2 quickly here on Josh Mrozek.
And that's just prime example of taking advantage of your opponent's mistakes. Miners didn't even get a hit to bring Mrozek in. It also came on an error of Rando hitting right to the shortstop.
Mrozek now in an 0-2 hole. Comes the 0-2 from Briggs. Called, strike 3 at the knees. Josh Mrozek sent packing on 3 pitches, down looking, and it will be Casey Rother with 2 away here in the third.
That'll be Briggs' third strikeout as well. Second one looking. His placement is pretty on the money. He hasn't faced too many hitters, and aside from those errors in the first inning, this could be a 0-0 game.
Rother went down on 3 pitches in the first. He struck out looking on a pitch on the inside edge that was very borderline, but called strike 3. First pitch here from Briggs is swung on and popped out of play, so 0-1 here on Casey Rother. Rother came in to this afternoon in game 1 of the doubleheader, hitting .429. He's 1 for 5 total on the day so far. It's the 0-1, and it missed low. So Rother evens it up 1-1. Rother, who is competing with a couple of Glacier pilots right now for maybe the best hitter in the ABL, but Rother is ahead of him right now in batting average and really power. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Chopped over to third. Third baseman Pennington up with it. He'll go to first, and that'll be a 5-3 ground out. Good play by Garrett Pennington coming on. Miners go 1-2-3 here in the third. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Will Johnston looking for his 3rd straight scoreless inning of work. And we'll be back in just a bit here in Kenai. Welcome back here in Kenai. As we start the bottom of the third, it'll be Andrew Soika first to the plate for the Oilers. 8-9-1 in the order. Drew up Soika, Trevor Antonsen, and then top of the order, Cole Moore. Will Johnston back out for his third inning of work. He's allowed just one hit so far, no walks through 2 innings. He's got a pair of strikeouts. The lefty from Texas A&M is looking better and better. Johnston puts down the rosin bag, and he's ready to go here in the third. Soika, left-handed batter. He hit in the leadoff spot in Game 1. Demoted down to the 8th spot in the order here in Game 2. Johnston, 6-2 lefty, winds, fires, fastball just off the plate. Johnston barely missed. 1-0.
Johnston's really bringing his heat right now as well. Definitely starting off a lot of his at-bats with a low fastball.
Johnston back to it as here's a ball shot into left center field, and that's going to drop in front of Josh Morozic. So Andrew Soika, maybe the demotion down in the lineup helps him a little bit as he gets a first batter single there, and now it's going to be at the bottom of the order, Trevor Antonsen from Seattle University into the plate. Antonsen was kind of a utility guy for Seattle this year. Didn't hit too much, but hoping to get something going with the bat here with nobody out in the third.
And the shift for Cole Moore and Andrew Soika seemed to work out on both parties, getting a hit so far, being only 2 hits in the game for the Oilers.
Haven't seen the Miners roll up a double play yet, but this middle infield's certainly capable. Antonsen squares the bunt up the third baseline. It's just going to roll foul. Almost got a really good bunt down there, but not to be. Sweeney fields it in foul territory. We'll do it again. 0-1. Another scores around the ABL. The Shugiak Eagle River Chinooks, who are leading the ABL, and I can't say that everybody in the league thought they would be at this point. Lead the ABL 8-5. They're up 2-0 on the Anchorage Glacier Pilots in the bottom of the fourth. Johnston back to the mound. He toes the rubber, takes a peek over at the runner, checks again. Now he'll go over to first. Back in safely is Soika. Miners would love a strikeout or a ground ball here. Johnston at the set. Here's the 0-1, squaring the bunt again. He pops it up into foul territory. Long run, Sweeney, and he's just going to not get there. It's close to it. Sweeney, athletic third baseman on the charge, wasn't able to get there. Rando also going over there trying to make the play. Instead, it's 0-2 on Antonsen.
So there goes all his bunt attempts here. Now it comes down to which one of his off-speed pitches are we going to see. The slider, changeup, or 12-6. That 12-6 has some real movement if you haven't seen it so far.
As Johnston peers in. He's got what he wants. Here comes the 0-2, but actually we'll have a throw over to first. Johnston has a nice little pickoff move going over to first. Back in safely is Soika. Miners only had to use a couple of relievers in Game 1. Aaron Winkler threw 2 scoreless, picked up the win as well, and Evan Floyd picked up the save in 1 inning of work. As here's a ball fouled towards the Miners dugout. That was a screamer over there. Casey Sherman's actually standing outside the dugout on the rail. That was kind of near him, and now he's going to move down to the bullpen. He said, I don't want to get hit by one. Well, no, he's going to go pick up the ball. Looks like he's going back same location.
It's called guts.
Yeah, Casey, not scared of anything as that ball comes inside, and that's going to drill Trevor Antonsen on the hip. Not what Will Johnston wanted there. Antonsen jogs down to first. He'll be okay, and it's going to be first and second here. Nobody out.
No real damage done, but anytime you take an 0-2 count, end up putting them on base with 1 pitch, it always feels like a bit of a loss. As the pitcher, Johnston now really would love to pick up that double play ball or any kind of out at this point. Still no outs in this inning.
So now 2 on, nobody out here for the Oilers in the third. Oilers, most traffic of the game right now on the bases. 2 on, nobody out. Johnson from the set, squaring the bunt, pulling back is the leadoff hitter Cole Moore, but it's a called strike. Johnston with that fastball overhand really just bears down on you, and he wants to work quickly right now. Cole Moore had that leadoff single. Tried to get to second, ended up scrambling back to first as Wilson made a really good throw from the outfield. Moore, left-handed hitter in. Here's the 0-1. just missed low. Johnston missed a bit low there. 1-1. Colmore in the box. Pennington in the on-deck circle. Over in the hole is John Hanley. Colmore.
Colmore having a good hitting day so far against the Miners. Triple and a single so far. First single in his first AV of the game so far today.
Squares the bunt here. 1-1. Pulled it back, and it's a strike. So Johnston goes ahead 1-2 as crashing down at first base was Mike Ferreira. 1-2. Colmore playing his college baseball at the University of Central Missouri. Left-handed batter, right-handed throwing. 6 foot, 195. Colmore. Johnston has him in a 1-2 hole now. Bermudez playing kind of in at second base. Here comes the 1-2. Miss low and away, so Johnson goes 2-2 now here on Moore.
Also have the sun coming out the most it has all day so far here at Coral Seymour.
Yeah, chilly day in Kenai, high 50s today, but that sun is certainly helping. We haven't really seen too much of it today. Hopefully there's some sun in the forecast for tomorrow. It's the Miners' only trip to Kenai this year. Miners, after that Game 1 win, come into Game 2 at 7-5. The Oilers at 2-7. Johnston at the set. Here comes the 2-2. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Will Johnston, nice pitch there. Looked like maybe a slider from Willie. There's his third strikeout of the day. And he gets a big out number 1 here in the bottom of the third.
What a time to get that punch out first of the inning too. Now 2 away from putting away these base runners.
Yeah, he's still got a long way to go, but that's a huge first out after he plunked the 9-hitting Antonsen. Now it's going to be Garrett Pennington to the dish. Pennington struck out swinging, was Johnston's first strikeout of the game back in the first.
Pennington also hitless on the day in both of these doubleheader games so far. A real pick-me-up for Johnston right now. Put himself in prime position of getting past Moore.
As he fires in strike 1 there, Pennington behind the count 0-1. Yeah, Pennington came in to Game 1 with just 1 at-bat on the year. Went 0-3 in Game 1, now 0-1 in Game 2. Giving an 0-5 on the year. Miners trying to make that 0-6. Will Johnston from the set. He's working from the stretch. Now he'll go pick off at second. It's a fake throw over there. He'll hold on to the ball and he'll go back to work. Still 0-1. Outfield, especially in center field, Josh Morozic playing fairly shallow. Johnston at the set. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball, strike 2 at the knees. That's a perfect pitch from Will Johnston. And that's one we're getting more accustomed to seeing with him on the mound. He loves pounding the lower edge of the zone with that fastball.
How can you blame him with the 2-seam and a 4-seam? At his best, he says he can hit mid-90s too. I don't doubt him by any means. He's got that A&M arm talent, and when he can hit his spots down low on the block, he's a dangerous pitcher.
Definitely one of the hardest throwing guys on this minor staff. He's got Pennington 0-2. Here it comes. Breaking ball missed away. So Johnson missed away. Yeah. Back to what you were saying on the speed. He says he can get anywhere from 90 to 95. Be interested to see what the gun from Wyatt Tucker looks like after this game. Wyatt, starting pitcher, tracking the velocity of his fellow Aggie teammate Will Johnston today behind home plate.
Maybe he's gonna shave a mile per hour or 2 off just so it gets closer to his numbers.
Yeah. Tucker's no slouch. He can get it up there too as the 1-2 pitch just missed inside. So 2-2 here on Garrett Pennington. John Hanley in the on-deck circle. Pennington back into the box, right-handed hitter. Also a University of Central Missouri guy, had a big year this year, hitting .372 for Central Missouri. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, popped up, and that's going to get back out of play. Still 2-2. Gotta say, the puppy we're seeing behind home plate tonight might be one of the cutest dogs I've ever seen in my life. I just had to bring that up.
He's a cute German Shepherd mix, and he's very, very friendly.
Yeah, he's laying on the grandstand right now. He's just soaking in the sun.
He's having a good day at the ballpark.
Yeah, he likes it here. He can lay out in the sun. Stepping out is Pennington before the 2-2. So Johnston Tries to put away Garrett Pennington here. Infield definitely playing for the double play. Second baseman Bermudez is shaded way up the middle. Urso as well, kind of near the bag as Johnston steps off. We're going to have time going out to the mound as Tyler Rando to have a talk with his pitcher. Miners hoping to get some good innings today out of Johnston. If they were able to only use one or two guys out of the bullpen in game 2, that'd definitely be ideal for manager Tyler LeBron. As they got another doubleheader looming tomorrow. That game will also start at 5 p.m. Also will be two 7-inning games, and then a series capper on Wednesday. Johnston at the set. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on, grounded up the third base line, but that's going to roll just foul.
A rather quick meeting, too, during that short time between Rando and Johnston. Obviously had something he directly saw, wanted to share. Maybe attacking a certain part of the zone now. Really seeing that hole for Pennington.
Be a big out in a battle Will Johnston really wants to win, as Garrett Pennington has stuck around here to see a bunch of pitches from Johnston.
Coming up on 7 pitches for this at-bat with the next throw.
Johnston looking for a strikeout or a ground ball. Break-even pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, hit in the air, right field. That's going into foul ground. Ranging over towards the line is Bermudez, and it's just out of reach. Crashing into the fence was Bermudez.
And Rother, they both were calling at it.
Or rather, no, that wasn't Bermudez. That was Mike Ferreira, actually, over near the foul line. That was not Bermudez. Ferreira, a much bigger guy. He slammed into the fence over there. He is okay. Fence absorbed the hit from Ferreira, and it's still going to be 2-2. This is a really nice battle from Garrett Pennington. Next would be John Hanley, who hails from Santa Clara University in California. Pennington back in. Johnston sets. Here it comes again. Breaking ball missed upstairs, and Johnston has went full on Pennington.
It took him 3 extra pitches to get back to just another ball there. Full count now.
This has been a long at-bat by the Central Missouri product. Looking to spray something into the outfield. Runner on first, Antonsen. Out at second is Soika. Here's the pitch. Fastball grounded to short. Up with it is Urso. He'll go to second. The relay, not in time, but they do get the force out at second base. So Will Johnston does win that battle. He gets a fielder's choice. It'll go 6-4 at second base. Urso to Bermudez. And outs runners at the corners. 2 away. John Hanley to the plate. Hanley came into today's game struggling at the plate. Just 4 for 26 on the year. He does have a couple of RBIs, though. Really struggling in the strikeout category, as has most of this Oilers team. They've struck out 75 times in just 8 ABL games. At the set, here comes the first pitch from Johnson. It's a foul ball back over the Oilers dugout. Hanley 0-1 in the count now.
One of the most underrated things about that Pennington at-bat, the longer that Johnston has to throw pitches around and to Pennington, the more his teammates were able to see what kind of stuff he has in his arsenal as well.
Here's the 0-1. Strike. Hit the top of the zone. That's a good spot for Willie Johnston. And now he's got him 0-2.
Bit of that sliding action. Coming back in to hit the corner of the black.
Johnston, the Texas A&M Aggie, trying to navigate around damage here in the third. He's at the set. Checks the runner at first. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball called. Strike 3. Willie Johnston. What a pitch there. And he's fired up coming off the field. Tyler Rando over out to the mound to give him a fist bump. And the Miners navigate around big damage here in the third. We'll head to the fourth. Miners 1, Oilers 0. We'll be back in just a few moments from Kenai. Welcome back here as we start the top of the fourth. It'll be Tyler Rando, the cleanup hitter behind the plate tonight for the Miners. Leading off as he takes ball one up. Will Johnston really did a great job navigating around damage there to end the third. Got a strikeout to end the inning on John Hanley.
And he really locked back into the zone with that slider. That's what ended up getting him out of the inning.
Sits now 2-0 on Tyler Rando from Gonzaga University. Gonzaga, obviously known for a great basketball program. They actually made the NCAA final this year, but they have a pretty good baseball program as well. They made the NCAA regionals this year, and Tyler Rando and Daniel Naughton, both hailing from Gonzaga, as their strike one. 2-1 on Rando. Catcher, standing at 5'10", 200 pounds, a junior from San Jose, California. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and fouled away, so count's even back up now on Rando, 2-2. Ben Briggs out for his fourth inning work for the Oilers. The only run he has surrendered was unearned on that error by the shortstop.
Rando might not be indulging in the hitting parade that his teammates are experiencing as much today as he did against Anchorage, but hitting is always contagious. Seeing your teammates do so well must absolutely just fire you up. Now seeing the other part of your pitcher-catcher battery get those strikeouts at the end of the inning, Rando must be in a good mindset in this at-bat.
Rando had a really nice day, as you said, against Glacier Pilots. As here's the ball looped into right field, but camping under it is Soika. He'll have it in his tracks. One away. It's going to send up the fifth hitter, Tyler Wilson, switch hitter, Grand Canyon University, to the plate. Wilson.
Number 44, Tyler Wilson.
Number 44, hailing from Chandler, Arizona. 6'2", 205 pounds. Wilson into the box for his second at-bat. He reached on a fielder's choice in the first.
Also, one of those freshmen, technical freshmen on the team.
Yeah, Tyler Wilson appeared in a freshman show last night at where the Miners are staying in Kenai. It was a good freshman show, and he sang a little song last night.
Didn't have the voice that Austin Robertson had.
Austin Robertson, let me tell you, the relief pitcher for the Miners, he has a voice of an angel. If baseball doesn't end up working out for him, he's got a fantastic career ahead of him in American Idol. I mean, that kid can sing. 1-1 now on Tyler Wilson as he fouled that pitch away. Here's the 1-1. Fastball, smoke back up the middle. A nice job by Briggs just to knock it down. He'll throw to first. It'll be a ground out, 1-3. How about that stop from Ben Briggs? Stopping that screaming liner back up the middle that was ticketed for center. Instead, it's 2 away, and coming to the plate is Sam Thompson.
The best thing you can do as a pitcher in any situation, as soon as that ball leaves your hand, you become the best fielder you can. Right now, he did a huge job at making sure that it stayed live and stayed out of the outfield.
Here's the Anchorage Glacier Pilots pushed one across in the fifth inning and now trail 2-1 to the Shugiak Eagle River Chinooks as there's strike one to Sam Thompson. That game in the bottom of the fifth.
Thompson was able to get 2 hits in their last game. First part of this doubleheader.
As 0-1 pitch is swung on and fouled back to the screen, so Thompson in a quick hole now, 0-2 with 2 away here in the fourth. Reminder that it is a 7-inning game once again in the second game of the doubleheader. Miners lead this one 1-0. For the Miners, it's 1 run on 1 hit, no errors. For the Oilers, it's no runs on 2 hits, and they've made 2 errors. So 5 errors total. Now for the Oilers, as they've been a bit sloppy in the field across both games.
That only hit coming from Mike Ferreira, who's currently in the on-deck circle.
0-2 pitch is swung on, and good job by Thompson to just get a piece of wood on that as he shoots that back out of play. Thompson, like I said earlier, had a couple of hits in game 1. And it's been a long time coming for Thompson. He was struggling to start the year, but he's really put it together lately. He sits 0-2 here, trying to battle. Briggs at the set, here it comes. Fastball way inside, Thompson backs out of there, 1-2.
And getting Thompson as a consistent hitter near the 6 or 7 hole of your lineup could be a huge boost for this team hitting all around. Because as soon as they leave the top part of their lineup, they really struggle to drive in any kind of runs.
Fouls that one back towards the screen. They'll stay 1 and 2. Yeah, the Miners, if they can get Thompson to hit, they'll have 3 good hitting catchers. Tyler Rando's been a pretty good hitter, and obviously Kevin Nakamura is near the league leaders in RBIs. Both are catchers, so if Thompson can get it going, I mean, you've got a good problem on your hands if you're Tyler LeBrun. Here comes the 1-2. Fastball, foul back to the screen again. So Thompson with a nice little battle here. He'll stay 1 and 2. Ben Briggs has actually been pretty good today. No earned runs as he's trying to work through a clean 4th. Here comes the 1-2 again. It's a breaking ball just inside. Johnson tried to frame it to no avail. It's 2 and 2. You know Tyler LeBrun and staff would love a doubleheader sweep to open this series if the Miners can get it done.
Would it be called a doubleheader sweep if they win all of them tomorrow?
I guess you could say that.
It's just complicating things, but I mean, it's more fun that way.
Yeah, I mean, either way, 4 wins in a row would be really, or 5 wins in a row if you count the Glacier Pilots game on Friday would be a really nice streak. As Thompson fouls that one off again, it's 2 and 2 once again. Set Briggs, here it comes. Fastball swung on, popped up into foul ground. The first baseman Marsh over there moving for it, and he'll just get it in front of the fence, right in front of the Oilers dugout. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Miners get no runs, no hits, no errors, and we'll be back in just a few moments from Coral Seymour Field. In Kenai as we start the bottom of the 4th, and before we start any action, we'd like to thank one of our sponsors, Napa Auto Parts of Alaska, who actually sponsors the internet for this broadcast, so shout out to them for helping us get on air today. As stepping up for the bottom of the 4th to the plate, it's going to be Bryce Marsh, the first baseman, who caught that foul out to end the top of the inning. Bryce Marsh playing first base. He in now. Marsh popped out in the first inning. Marsh, second at bat of the day. Stands in here against Johnson. Lefty on lefty. First pitch is a breaking ball fouled up the first baseline. 0-1. Johnston working here in the 4th. Nobody up in the Miners bullpen. And it looks like maybe there's a little bit of movement down the Oilers bullpen as Marsh is swinging wildly at a Johnston slider there, and it's 0-2.
Marsh reminds me plenty of Sorelli, especially in his statistics, that he swings with a lot of power, like you had mentioned before, but when he misses, he usually misses for strikeouts, and that can cost him big.
And he check swings here, and he went around. Check swing, strike 3. Bryce Marsh down on strikes here to begin the bottom of the 4th. There's Willie's 5th strikeout on the day, and it'll bring to the plate the 5th inning Taylor Johnson.
Taylor Johnson.
Johnson popped out, or flew out, I guess you could say, to the second baseman David Bermudez to kick off the 2nd inning. Here's the first pitch from Johnson. It's tapped up. First pitch swing into Jared Sweeney, and it'll go 5-3. Jared Sweeney to Mike Ferreira. 2 quick outs here to begin the 4th for the Miners. And that's good for Johnson's pitch count as he threw a bunch of pitches in the 3rd inning. That's how you get in later in games. It's going to be Dylan Ditzenberger, and I feel like at this point we might as well call him Ditz. The last name on the back of the jersey is throwing me off. Dylan Ditz to the plate.
Johnston looking to outlast his housemate right now, as Christian Seelhorst was only able to get 4 innings. Johnston's still looking very strong.
As here's a first pitch ground ball. Bermudez at second has it go right between his legs. It's into center field. Mrozek up quickly to get it. And that'll be the Miners' first error of the day. That was a really routine ball for Bermudez out at second base. And that ball just went straight below the glove in between his legs. That'll go down as an E4. So Johnston unable to get the clean, quick inning. And now it's going to be the 7th hitting Ben Grunberg.
And Bermudez, the last player you might expect to have that happen. Usually, the only time he gets an error is if he's trying to force too much. He's a very solid routine player.
Very sure-handed is Bermudez. That is going to be a rarity. A runner aboard now with 2 away as the first pitch is a fastball to Grunberg for strike 1. Grunberg fouled out, or flew out, to the second baseman Bermudez back in the 4th.
Strong response there from Willie. Immediately gives up the air and goes right back to attacking the strike zone.
A 1 pitch, swing and a miss. Came with that slider, 0-2. Yet Johnston showing good resiliency out there. He's not getting down on his fielder. I mean, mistakes happen. Errors do happen in the field. It's part of the game. And all you can do is try to keep your head up and bounce back. And Johnston appears well on his way to doing that here. 0-2 on Ben Grunberg.
Checking off plenty of signs right now from Rando.
Grunberg's already striking out 11 times this year. Struck out 11 times this year. As here's the ball stung into straightaway center field. It's going to send Josh Mrozek back a couple of steps, but he's got it in his tracks, and that'll end things here in the 4th. Oilers do get a runner via an error with 2 outs, but can't bring him around. We'll head to the 5th. Miners 1, Oilers 0, and we'll be back in just a bit here from Kenai. First pitch is swung on and grounded to short, throws in the dirt, and it's actually going to get by the first baseman Marsh, and reaching safely will be the runner Ferreira. That's going to be an E6. So a quick error, another one on the day for the Oilers. That's their third of the game, and the sixth of the day is going to put a runner on and nobody out. Bring Jared Sweeney to the plate next. Sweeney, in his only at-bat of the game, which was in the second inning, struck out swinging. Looking to do a bit better here. 1 on, no out, as they're going to take another peek at Ferreira. We saw a ton of that in the second inning. For some reason, the Oilers are really intrigued with Mike Ferreira's speed over at first.
I think it's just Ben Briggs. I think he has a vendetta against Ferreira.
Maybe he's trying to hit him on like the leg or something. As Sweeney squares the bunt here, but it's foul up the third base line.
I already saw what can happen when you get hit in the calf with Josh Morozic. That was a big old welt on the left calf he had. Wasn't too easy to run for a few days. Ferreira, I can guarantee you, isn't nearly the same speed Struck Morozic is, but he is going to keep getting tested.
Another throw over, yeah. Ben Briggs is not liking the speed of Mike Ferreira over there at first.
If you want to not like Mike Ferreira, just play him at poker, Ben.
Yeah.
It's not nearly as fun.
Mike Ferreira, one of the better poker players on the team, is out of the dugout for the Oilers. Here's their manager is actually out of the dugout to talk with the home plate umpire. And now the home plate umpire is going over to the Miners dugout to talk to Tyler LeBrun. Not really sure what the conversation is about. LeBron having a quick chat with him. Now the umpire back to the plate. Not really sure what's going on, but it looks like we're going to resume play.
At least there is no real error. We have seen umps stop gameplay before. They stopped Nate Beimel a few games ago to check him for pine tar as it becomes increasingly more popular for games to be stopped for that.
Outfield fairly back on Sweeney. Squares the bunt here. Pulls back. Pitches low. 1-1. Sweeney does not have a sacrifice bunt this year. Love to get one, though, right here.
Sack hit to advance Ferreira. As Ferreira's just stopped taking off the bag at this point. He just keeps throwing over there.
I mean, this has got to be more of a compliment than anything else to Ferreira, but, I mean, my gosh, it's been at least 6 or 7 pickoffs on Ferreira over his 2 trips to base. Sweeney back in, infield playing way in. Here's the 1-1, squaring the bunt, gets it down, back to the pitcher. Fielded by Briggs, he'll go to second for 1. The relay, there will be no relay, in fact. It'll be a force out. The bunt just going too quickly right back at Briggs, who made the play. And they get the fielder's choice at second base. So reaching is Sweeney. Ferreira back to the dugout. Maybe they won't have as many pickoff throws now. Over to first. And now it's J.D. Urso. 1 on, 1 out.
Urso, no hits so far in the second part of this doubleheader. You get that nice shot for his first hit as a minor. Would love to make it 2 for 2 in back-to-back games.
We're now playing in the bottom of the 7th over in Anchorage. The Shugiak Eagle River Chinooks lead the Pilots 3-1. As there's a fastball lined into left field, coming on quickly is the left fielder Grunberg. He won't get it. Throwing to second base is not in time.
Speak it into existence.
Sweeney with good base running there. That's really good base running because he could have went more back towards the first base bag, got an accurate enough lead, and then was able to break for second and beat that throw just in time. So it's a 1-out single for J.D. Urso, and it'll turn things over to the top of the lineup. David Bermudez to the plate, trying to knock in a run.
It's time for Burmy Beauty. Dropping another blooper would be another... Could easily bring a run home, honestly, at this point, the way that Sweeney was running the bags. He's smart enough to know the distance, these defenders as well.
Long check by Briggs to Sweeney out at second. First pitch to Urso is a breaking ball for strike 1. Sweeney at second. Over at first is Urso. 2 on, 1 out. Miners would love to give Will Johnston an extended lead here.
Great chance to do it, only 1 out so far.
Would be a big run to get. Here's the 0-1. Swung on line into left field. That's going to drop. Around third, Sweeney. He'll score. Picking it up in the left field line is Grunberg into third. goes the runner, Urso. Holding at first is David Bermudez, and how about that? David Bermudez in the leadoff hole today. He's been smacking the ball all over the yard, and he gets one there. RBI single, 2-0 Miners.
And there's the shot. Like I said, it's a Burmy beauty. You just gotta speak these things into existence
You've
sometimes,
got
Reese.
an extended vocabulary for David Bermudez. You've got Bermudez Blast, you've got Bermudez Bloop, and you've got Burmy Beauty. What is next on the list?
I guess we're just gonna have to wait and find out.
Yeah, we'll see. Scoring to butt, here's Morozic, and it goes foul. Maybe a bit of a suicide squeeze there, 0-1.
Wouldn't surprise me, though, just to see what they have in store right now. This team could afford to make a sacrifice to get another run. Whatever insurance you can get is usually afforded. Both these teams looking to create something.
0-1 here on Josh Morozic. Trying to find a hole in the defense. Third baseman Pennington's on the grass. Think it may be bunt. First and third, 1 out. Briggs checks Bermudez over at first. He's back in safely. Briggs trying to not give up any additional runs here. Here's the pitch. It misses low. One and one. Still over at third is Pennington. Squaring to butt is Morozic. He gets it up the first base line, and that's going to score a run. How about that? Josh Morozic with the suicide squeeze. He gets it down. That's going to score J.D. Urso, and the Miners lead 3-0 in the dugout. Out to greet Urso and Morozic. That was a beautiful bunt up the first base line. Miners lead 3-0. Bermudez up to second. As the first pitch now into Casey Rother is a ball, 1-0, and then the inning is still far over right now for the starter out there, Briggs, as Casey Rother is to the dish. Briggs checking the runner at second. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit up in the air, and that's going to get back out of play down the right field line. So 1-1 here on Casey Rother. Briggs back out there trying to hold it at just 3-0. Miners looking to break it open. Left fielder, interestingly enough, Grunberg is not very deep. Rother looking to drill it over his head. Here's the 1-1. Grounded to second. On a couple of hops, Antonsen up with it. He'll go to first. And that'll end things here in the top of the fifth for the Miners. But they get a couple of runs. David Bermudez, RBI single. Josh Morozic, suicide squeeze that scores J.D. Urso. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth. Will Johnston looking to keep his clean slate afloat. And we'll be back in just a few moments here in Kenai. Welcome back in here to Kenai as we start at the bottom of the fifth in a 7-inning game. Game 2 of the doubleheader. Miners took game 1 by a score of 3-1. Miners up 3-0 here as coming to the plate here to start the fifth inning. It's going to be Andrew Soika. It'll be Soika, Antonsen, Moore to the plate. 8-9-1 in the order. Miners scored a couple of runs in the bottom of the inning. We saw David Bermudez rope a liner down the left field line, an RBI single. That scored Jared Sweeney, and then a perfectly executed sack squeeze, I guess you could say, by Josh Morozic that plated J.D. Urso. Will Johnston back out for another inning of work.
Now Soika, one of the 2 hitters in this game for the Oilers to actually get a hit so far. He and Cole Moore, the only 2 to have singles so far.
Soika trying to create some offense. Squaring to bunt here, pulling back, breaking ball. That's going to be ball number 2. Sweeney over to third, really wasn't expecting it, had to charge late. I guess you could say the tale of this game has been the number of defensive miscues. It's been 6 errors across a little over a game and a half total for the Oilers, just 1 for the Miners.
And that one for the Miners immediately corrected by the work of their pitcher.
This
Johnston.
Ball is stroked into center field. A pretty nice shot off the bat of Soika, but right into the mitt of Josh Morozic. Hard hit out. Willie Johnston without number 1 here in the 5th. Trevor Antonsen, the right-handed hitting second baseman, 9-hitter in the order, due up. Antonsen was hit by a pitch back in the 3rd inning, in which the Oilers really threatened. They got 1st and 3rd with 2 outs, but a big strikeout by Johnston ended that. Johnston lines now. Here's the first pitch. It's a fastball inside, 1-0 on Antonsen, Seattle University.
It's always got to feel better whenever you get those wily pitches with no one else on the bags. Don't have to worry about anyone running on your wild pitch. Johnston now a chance to just lock back into this AB.
He's going to step back onto the slab. Miners with no action in their bullpen. Looks like Andre Orselli was warming up for the Oilers as there's a pitch hammered foul. It's going to be 1-1 on Antonsen. So Orselli was warming up, and you're going to think it could be his time in the top of the 6th, rather.
Wouldn't be surprised, especially after seeing 2 more put on the board by the Miners.
The 1-1 pitch misses. It scoots away to the backstop. 2-1 on Trevor Antonsen. Oilers really changed their lineup after game 1, in which they only got 2 hits, scored a run. Changed it all around, but it hasn't worked as of yet. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. Here's the wind from Johnston. The 2-1 swung on and hit pretty well down the left field line, but Wilson was playing him over there, shaded towards the line. He will run it down in the left field corner and make the catch. 2 away. Yeah, normally Wilson's not usually that far towards the left field line, but there he was shaded perfectly. Had to move a few steps to his left, and Antonsen's got to feel a little bit like he was robbed out there.
And then that's another one of the adjustments that skipper Tyler LeBron and Casey Sherman have told their players. If you feel like you're smart enough to understand the repetitions of these batters and where they're pulling or pushing to, feel free to adjust. Wilson took his own liberty there, made the play.
Tyler Wilson also has pretty good speed out there, so it helps when you have that much mobility. As the first pitch from Johnston to the leadoff hitter Cole Moore is a strike. 0-1. Cole Moore led off the game with a single down the 3rd baseline in the 1st and struck out swinging in the 3rd.
Yeah, Willie would love to get another strikeout here, making this the only inning he has so far without a strikeout.
He misses away with a breaking ball there. Johnston on the day, 5 Ks. Here comes 2-1, breaking ball, strike 2. Spinning that slider up there and got it over. 1-2. Johnston trying to work through 5 perfect innings. Here comes a swing and a miss from Cole Johnston, and that's one way to end it here in the 5th. Johnston compiling 6 strikeouts so far through 5 innings. How about 11 straight scoreless for Will Johnston? We'll head to the 6th. Miners lead 3-0 here in Kenai over the Peninsula Oilers. We'll be back in just a minute.
Number 43, Tyler.
Welcome back in here to Kenai as we start the 6th. Leading off for the Miners will be Tyler Rando, the catcher, as he takes ball 1, and we're underway here in the 6th. Rando. On the day is 0-4-2. He helped play to run on a ground ball to deep short that Cole Moore could not handle. Here's the 1-0. Fastball grounded into the hole, and Cole Moore diving can't get it. There's the first hit of the day for Tyler Rando, who's been swinging a nice stick for the Miners since coming aboard. It's a leadoff single here in the 6th. Rando taking advantage there of a fastball he liked in a 1-0 count. And put it right through the hole sharply, and now Tyler Wilson come to the plate. Wilson, the left fielder.
Wilson would really love to get his first hit of the game as well. Obviously didn't get to play game 1 of the doubleheader. Now in part 2 of this divisive match, been out so far twice, would love to get something back.
Here comes the first pitch. It's lined into left field. Coming on is Grunberg. He'll make the catch. Ball settles into his mitt. Hard hit line out there for Tyler Wilson. And there's one away here in the 6th. So now coming to the plate for the Miners will be the catcher, pinch hitting Kevin Nakamura off the bench. He's going to hit for Sam Thompson. So Nakamura, who did not play game 1, will get his first at-bat here in game number 2. Looking to drive in a run. Runner at first, 1 away. First pitch is a fastball up, ball 1. It's 1-0 here on Kevin Nakamura. Trying to find a crease in the defense. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball spun up there. Strike 1. We also have a new pitcher on. Forgot to mention, look like number 17 out there for the Oilers. Same pitcher actually, Ben Briggs. Ben Briggs is still out there now. Orselli.
Now Arcelli holds down number 13 right now for the Oilers. They're trusting Briggs. Already given up some runs in this game right now, but with the stagnation they've seen from their offense, really just trusting him with the game in his hands right now.
There's ball 2 to Kevin. So Nakamura, and the count now. 2-1. Nak on the year has seen his average drop. He's even 200 hitter, 5 for 25, but he has a homer and 8 RBIs. Nakamura back in, but before the pitch, there'll be a check over to Rando at first, back in safely. We'll do it again here, 2-1. 2-1, 1 out. Miners lead 3-0 here in the 6th. They've got 4 hits on the day, just 2 hits for the Oilers. Rando standing over at first. Break sets. Here it comes. Breaking ball, called strike over the outside edge. So Nakamura now evened up in the count, 2-2. A good breaking ball from Briggs.
Tough to lay off of that one, but Naka, as you said before, he has a fluid swing. They put him in for these advanced runner situations. He hasn't had the opportunity in a while.
As here's a fastball swung on and skied into center field. Fairly routine play as that ball is drifting into right center field. Up with it is Ditzenberger. That is out number 2, so Nakamura off the bench retired as a pinch hitter, and now it's going to be Mike Ferreira to the plate. Ferreira singled in the 2nd and then reached on an error in the 4th. So Ferreira been aboard already a couple of times, looking to get on for the 3rd time today. If we're to get to him, Jared Sweeney, third baseman, the on-deck circle. First pitch is a breaking ball at the belt, strike 1. Goes ahead now on Mike Ferreira. Ferreira, like we said, had a couple of days off, trying to get his swing back together, and it's paid off here in game 2.
Hasn't been put out so far in this game, besides on that fielder's choice.
As that pitch is swung on and hit pretty deep to center field, but backing up is Ditzenberger. He'll have room, and he'll make the catch in fairly deep center. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Will Johnston probably out for his 6th inning of work, and we'll be back in just a minute from Kenai. Welcome back in here to Coral Seymour Ballpark as Will Johnston back out for his 6th inning of work. He's worked a masterful 5 shutout innings so far, and it's only a 7-inning doubleheader. He's got a real chance to go the distance here. He's got 5 perfect innings so far, or 5 perfect run innings so far. There has been a couple of hits for the Oilers, but he's, for the most part, kept them stagnant offensively. As stepping in here to lead off the bottom of the 6th is going to be Garrett Pennington, the third baseman. 2, 3, 4 in the order. This is arguably the Oilers' best shot at scoring runs to begin an inning here. Pennington, third baseman in. He's struck out swinging and grounded into a fielder's choice. He's had a tough day at the plate, 0 for 5 across 2 games so far. Miners looking to go up 2-0 in the series.
And to say he struggled would definitely be accurate, but that last at-bat, if you take a deeper look at it, taking him 9 pitches to eventually get into that fielder's choice situation, he's definitely seeing Johnston better than most of his teammates right now.
Johnston winds, fires, fastball, strike 1. Johnston has seemingly got better as this game has gone on. I mean, he's stayed with his stuff. He's still been able to throw first pitch strikes, still good velocity on his pitches, great break as always on his pitches. As here's the 0-1, breaking ball missed off the plate. Johnston goes 1-1. As we sit here, bottom of the 6th, just 6 more outs between the Miners, and an 8-5 record. The Chinooks game still going on. They're ahead in the late innings, so hoping for a Glacier Pilots comeback as that ball is shot over the screen. Strike number 2 on a foul ball. If the Chinooks were to hold on, they'd go to 9-5. If the Miners win and the Chinooks win, it would be 8-5 for the Miners. So just a half game back in the standings. Right on the tail of Shugiak. As here comes the 1-2 from Johnston. Swing and a miss. Dropped by the catcher Rando. He'll throw down to first to complete the strikeout. Give him 7 on the day. Will Johnston is dealing right now in Kenai. Bring up the designated hitter, John Hanley, 29 for the Oilers. Johnston 5 1/3 innings. He's got 7 punch outs on the day. This has been arguably his best start, and that's saying a lot considering his last start against the Oilers. He went 6 scoreless, striking out 7. Here's a pitch, fastball, strike 1.
He's just looked locked in pitch after pitch the deeper we go into this. So far, only 2 hits, both of which were allowed in the first 3 innings. Since then, he's been lights out.
That he has, as there's strike 2. He goes ahead 0-2 on John Hanley. And he's not afraid of anybody. He'll come with you, or he'll come at you with any pitch and any count. Johnston from the wide. Here's the 0-2. Fastball. Just got a piece of it. Fouled towards the Miners dugout. Casey Sherman still standing on the outside. Went right near him. I mean,
He's a ball man.
he is not afraid of anything down there. I would not be doing that if I were him, but he's not afraid of it.
And he throws in those batting cages behind the... Oh, wow. What a strikeout.
There's the 0-2 punch out from Will Johnston. That'll give him a season high in punch outs. He's got 8 of them on the day, and Willie's locked in right now. 1 more out to go here in the 6th.
Talk about helping your own numbers. Not only is he pitching deep, like you said, he's adding 8 to the total of 12 before this game. Johnston just looking absolutely locked in, looking better than he has all year.
Looking to put away Marsh here. Lefty on lefty. First pitch fastball, strike 1. And that's been his biggest thing today. He's been getting ahead of most hitters today, and that's just set him off balance. Because if he gets 1 strike on you, it's as close as you can get to over. 0-1 pitch missed off the plate, 1-1. He hasn't allowed a runner that he was really charged with since the 3rd. The error in the 4th was against Bermudez. Didn't count against him. Johnston from the line. Here's the 1-1. Fastball fouled up the first baseline. So Johnston ahead now, up 1-2. Just 1 strike away from working 6 scoreless innings. Miners with no action in their pen, so specifically Johnston, if he's going back into the dugout, I can bet he's going to be begging manager Tyler LeBrun to let him finish the job in the 7th.
Especially if he has the chance to punch out the side here with 1 more strike.
1-2 pitch, fouled back to the screen. Just got a piece of that was Bryce Marsh. Stay 1-2. So again, the Miners back in action tomorrow with another doubleheader beginning at 5 p.m. here in Kenai. Here's the 1-2 from Johnston. Missed off the plate with a breaking ball, so he goes 2-2 on Bryce Marsh. 5 p.m. starting that first game. It'll be a 7-inning doubleheader, and then game 2 will be about 35 to 45 minutes after game 1. The 2-2 breaking ball called strike 3. Will Johnston. How about that? Striking out the side here in the 6th. He's getting better as this game goes on. Will Johnston will head to the top of the 7th. Miners lead 3-0 here from Coral Seymour Ballpark in Kenai. Welcome back here in Kenai as we start the top of the 7th inning. Miners lead 3-0. This is last inning of regulation unless the Oilers can score 3 in the bottom of the 7th. Miners trying to make it even more than 3 if they can get a couple on the board here as new pitcher on Nolan Patterson fires ball 1. The left-hander Patterson facing Sam Thompson. Patterson attends Centralia College, 6'1", 160 pounds. Here's the 1-0, swung on and fouled to the screen. So 1-1 on Patterson, who redshirted at Centralia this year as a freshman.
He's definitely come in with more of a closer role. Hasn't really had more than 1 or so innings at a time that he's had to handle. Only 2.2 pitch so far on the ABL season.
It's not Thompson, it's Jared Sweeney at the plate, and a little mixed up. Hard to see the difference between the 1 and the 2 up here, I guess. Maybe.
We understand camos. It's impossible.
Yeah,
to see.
it's
very
invisible. It's
invisible.
difficult to see up here. I'll give myself a pass on that one. 1-2 to Sweeney. Swung on and lifted up the first baseline. Long run for the first baseman Marsh, but he won't get to it. It's a foul ball. 1-2 still. It'll be Sweeney, Urso, top of the order, Bermudez.
One thing Patterson has struggled with: 3 walks, only 1 strikeout, and that limited exposure.
Sweeney batting from the right side for the first time today against the left-handed Patterson. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on, check swing, popped up, and that's going to get back out of play. Sun is really starting to poke out here in Kenai. It was pretty gloomy for game 1 and parts of early game 2, but it's really came out here in full force as we reach 9:24 local time. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and it's in the dirt, taken by Sweeney, 2-2.
Sweeney knew midway through the delivery that one wasn't going to get in the zone as he started to lower his arms.
Sweeney on the day struck out swinging and grounded into a fielder's choice, but he ended up scoring off that fielder's choice as this ball is swung on and popped up into short left. Grunberg coming on, Moore going out. Grunberg will call him off and make the catch in short left center field. There's 1 away for the Miners here in the 7th. J.D. Urso to the plate now.
We only got 2 hours of daylight left, so we're going to have to pick it up a little bit. Sunset's at 11:20.
Urso to the plate now. Urso had a hit in game 1, and then also had a hit here in game 2. Came around to score in that 2-run 5th for the Miners as he takes strike 1 there. Nolan Patterson looking to at least give the Oilers a chance in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch, and it missed low and in. Patterson couldn't get that one, and it is 1-1. We already said the doubleheader occurring tomorrow, but the series finale will occur on Wednesday at 6:00 p.m. as there is a breaking ball inside strike 2. So 1-2 here on Urso. That series finale, like I said, will start at 6 o'clock. We'll be on the air a few minutes before as we wrap up this trip in Kenai before going home for a couple off days. Here's the 1-2, and it's fouled to the screen. So 1-2 on Urso.
Urso doesn't even want to make this a quick top of the 7th. As we were just informed, we do have 2 hours of sunlight left. He's trying to milk it for all we got.
Yeah. This is summer solstice today, right? June 21st.
Longest day of the year.
As Urso goes down swinging there on the high fastball, Nolan Patterson with his first punch out of the pen, and there's 2 away. It's David Bermudez who singled in and run his last at-bat. Bermudez has had a really nice day at the plate today. Couple of hits. He reached on an error in game 1 that really could have been called a hit. He probably would have beaten that throw to first, but the shortstop Moore did fumble it. Bermudez back in now, 2 away. First pitch swinging, fastball line pretty deep left field. Going back on it is Grunberg, looking up, and it's gone! David Bermudez! Where did that come from? Powering that out of here into left field. David Bermudez's first home run of the year. The second baseman seeing the ball well today. It's 4-0 Miners.
Join the Bomber Squad, David Bermudez.
We've been saying he's been hitting the ball so well all day as the dugout is there to greet him. Oh, baby, David Bermudez getting into one. The rider middle infielder drilling one out of here. There's an insurance run for Will Johnston.
Am I going to have to add Bomber Burmy to the vocab?
You said you were coming with another one.
I also said he was gonna hit a
That's
home
number
run.
5, right? Or is
Yeah.
that 4? That's either 4 or 5. It goes 2-0 here to Morozek. Bermudez, though, how about that? He drove one to the deepest part of the yard in left center earlier and was a fly out. That one, shorter fence, got that one over relatively easy as Morozek swings and misses there. 2-1. No action in the Miners bullpen, so it's going to be Willie time in the 7th. He'll go for his first Miners complete game shutout.
We were playing one game today. It'd be a full Willie day.
So here's a tapper up the first baseline. Foul ball. It's good to see Bermudez coming around with the bat. You could sense he was on the verge of a breakout for a while. He's been hitting the ball well. He's been just lining into outs, honestly. But today, he's really come around. It's been good to see. A lot of the slumping guys in this order have picked up a ton of slack today for the Miners. As there's a breaking ball swung on and lined into right field. Fairly deep, but Soika going back a couple of steps. And that'll end it here in the 7th. But not before David Bermudez, 2 out. Bermie bomb to left field. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. Willie Johnston looking for the complete game shutout. And we'll be back in just a minute from Coral Seymour Field. Welcome back here in the bottom of the 7th. Willie Johnston going for the complete game shutout. The left-hander will face 5, 6, 7 in the Oiler lineup. It'll be Johnson, Ditzenberger, Grunberg to the plate. Taylor Johnston the first to face him. Willie's been so nice today on the mound. 6 scoreless innings thus far. We would love another one. Coming to the plate for the 3rd time is Johnson. He flew out into short right field to the second baseman Bermudez in the 2nd, and then reached on an error by Bermudez in the 4th.
Man, if Willie could tie his season total for strikeouts in a shortened game, you know he'd have bragging rights in the clubhouse for a couple days.
Got 9 of them today. First pitch fastball, strike 1 as he continues to look dominant here in the 7th. Miners on the cusp of a doubleheader sweep today. Here's the pitch. Fastball. Oh, that just missed. 1-1. Miners working well today. They've put up 3 runs game 1, 4 runs game 2. That might not seem like a lot, but in 2 7-inning games, that's solid numbers as Johnson gets over a fastball for strike number 2. Johnston, back to it. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on, flown, down the right field line. That's going to get back out of play.
Just by a couple 40 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right on that one. Johnston. On the line, here it comes. Fastball, fouled up to third baseline. So, like, if Bermudez makes a really good play in the field, you got to figure out something for that. It's got to start with B.
Oh man, I'll get on that.
Yeah.
I'll get back to it.
That's your
whenever it
homework
occurs.
tonight
Okay.
before you go to bed.
I'll take his input on it too.
1-2 from Johnston is shot up the third baseline, foul again. So, still alive is Taylor Johnson. We have a final over in Anchorage. The Shugiak Eagle River Chinooks hold on and take a 3-2 victory over the Anchorage Glacier Pilots, who have now lost their last 4 games. So regardless of what happens at the end of this game, the Miners will still be in second, but they'll be just a half game behind if they can hold on today. Johnston from the line. Here's the 1-2. Oh, baby! Where did that one miss? Call the ball off the outside edge. So Johnston back to it now, 2-2. He misses up and away there. It's gone 3-2. Yeah.
Now that one missed.
That one missed, but a pitch before that looked about as good as you can get.
Also, I'm just gonna have to use Burmese first name for
Yeah.
the next one. Just call it a David Dime.
3-2 pitch is fouled back to the screen, or if he makes a diving play, I guess you can do David Dive. but
Yeah,
it's
we're
not.
all over this. As long as it's around David Bermudez. Gotta come up with more for Willie too. The Willie windup.
Bermudez deserves it with the day he's had today. He's been ever productive at the plate, as now going up to pick that ball as the on-deck batter. Ditzenberger throw that away, and Johnson, after a brief break, will step to the mound. It's 3-2 here on Taylor Johnson.
It's gonna be 10 pitches for this at-bat with the next pitch from Johnston.
Here's the pitch. Johnston wins the battle over Johnson. It's a strikeout. Will Johnston has 10 strikeouts on the day. He is absolutely dealing right now. He struck out the last 5 batters, and now it's going to be Dylan Ditzenberger to the plate.
I believe that's the first time this season as well that any Miners pitchers hit double-digit Ks in a game.
He has been magnificent so far. Dylan Ditzenberger trying to avoid being strikeout 6 in a row. This has been a fantastic outing from Willie. First pitch here, ball low, 1-0. Miners pitching held this Oilers offense to just 4 hits so far across almost 2 full games. Here's the 1-0. Pitch is roped down the right field line, but it's going to go foul. So 1-1 here on Ditzenberger, or Ditz on the back of his jersey. Ben Grunberg, the on-deck circle, he's swinging. He'd be next. Ditzenberger 0 for 2 on the day, as is Grunberg in the on-deck circle. Johnston from the wind, the 1-1. Breaking ball swung on and popped up into foul ground. Sweeney, long run over near the fence, and it's going to go out of play. So 1-2. Johnston now going to have a chance at another strikeout. It would be 6 in a row if he can get it.
Willie could really go for another one here. Obviously, right now, after today's performance, he is definitely the strikeout king for the Miners at the moment, but Nate Beimel, who sees a lot more appearances than him, is closely in second.
As that ball is shot away by Ditzenberger, it'll stay 1-2. In action tomorrow, obviously the Miners with a doubleheader, but the Shugiak Eagle River Chinooks will once again go up to Anchorage and face, this time, the Anchorage Bucks. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Give him 6 Ks in a row. Willie Johnston absolutely dealing. 11 on the night, and the Miners are 1 out away from getting a Willie Johnston complete game shutout, the Texas A&M product.
And I'm almost 1 out away from being able to speak those strikeouts into existence too. Came in with 12. 11 in this game.
Yeah, he's been magnificent. 11 strikeouts on the day, and Ben Grunberg, the only batter between him and the shutout.
Johnny Olmstead is pinch hitter.
Johnny Olmstead, pinch hitting for the Oilers as he takes ball 1 on a check swing. Olmstead pinch hitting here for Grunberg, USC product. Into the box. He played in game 1. This was a rare day off for him in game two of the doubleheader, as there's a ball upstairs. It's 2-0.
First game Olmstead hasn't played in since they started as well, but obviously found his way back onto the diamond in the batter's box with this pinch hitting opportunity.
And that Chinooks game tomorrow night, all of Miners fans are Anchorage Bucks fans as well as Miners fans for the night, as that ball is shot back out of play, 2-1. The Chinooks improve their record once again, they've been so good this year. They've improved to 9-5 on the year in a season. Not many around the ABL saw coming, but they've got off to a really nice start. Will Johnston now in a 2-1 count. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball, strike 2, looked like a slider. Could it be 7 in a row to close things out for Will Johnston? He's right there.
With a slider pitch like that, there's no reason he shouldn't be able to.
Bullpen up, standing down the left field line. Here it comes, swung on, hit into left field. Going back is the left fielder, Wilson, and he won't get it. It hits the bottom of the wall. So there's a pinch hit double for John Olmsted. Willie Johnston got so close to 7 in a row to end the game. Instead, Olmsted's going to keep this game alive with a 2-out, 2-strike double. And the way Johnston was going, that's about as unlikely as you can get.
And I think Wilson was just as surprised as everybody else in the stands. Good job to recover and shuffle back there, but should he have been 2 feet back more, who's to say he couldn't have made that catch?
He almost made a leaping grab. Well, hit off the bottom of the wall. Almost got out of here. That was a sharp line drive by Johnny Olmsted off the bench. Bench hitting. So now Soika into the box. He has 1 of 3 hits today for the Oilers. Here's the first pitch. Missed way off the plate with a slider, 1-0.
And Soika's never an easy out himself. Like you said, 1 for 2 in the game so far today. He has the chance to take that big old goose egg off the scoreboard for the Oilers.
Looking to create some offensive power. Johnston steps off. Now he's back on. So 1-0 count here on Soika. The second baseman, Bermudez, is ranged very far towards the right side. Here's the pitch. Fastball off the plate. Johnston's falling behind 2-0. Soika, where to reach. Trevor Antonsen sits in the on-deck circle. Even with a runner at second, Miners still have this game pretty much in their grasp, but do not want to let Soika reach and have guy in the on-deck circle, Antonsen, be their tying run as there's a fastball, 2-1 now as he gets it over the outside edge.
Still only 1 out away from ending this doubleheader. First of 2, all he needs to focus on are the next 2 pitches.
Skipper Tyler LeBrun would certainly not want to use his bullpen if he doesn't have to. 2-1 coming from Johnston. Check swing. Did he go around? No, he did not. He held up in time, so Soika goes 3-1 here.
That was a close call.
Close call, but probably the correct one. Looked like Soika didn't let those wrists break, and now he's in control, 3-1. Johnston sets. Checks the runner at second. 3-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled away. Got a good cut at it. Ahead in the count, 3-1 from a Johnston fastball, and we are now full 3-2, 2 away in the 7th. Johnston looking for one more pitch. The lefty from A&M peering in. Keller, Texas native, has got a sign. Here it comes. Missed away with the fastball. Stealing third on the play with not even really look over to third was the runner. And now it's first and third with 2 outs as now there's going to be a meeting at the mound. Looks like Bubba Walters is out of the Miners dugout to talk with Johnston. As now it looks like maybe the faintest bit of warm-up activity down in the Miners bullpen. Looks like Alex Majors is down there throwing just in case. Johnston cannot get out Antonsen here. He was so close to working a perfect bottom of the 7th, but a 2-out pinch hit double by John Olmsted, and then a walk to Soika has made things just a bit more interesting. So first and third, 2 away. Antonsen at the plate. Antonsen on the day, 0 for 1. Flew out to left field, was also hit by a pitch. Seattle University product. Trying to at least extend it. The tying run is in the on-deck circle. Johnston sets. Here comes the first pitch. Fastball swung on and popped into the air. Under it is Rando. Still looking, he's searching, and he makes the catch. There's a complete game shutout for Willie Johnston. The Keller, Texas native goes the distance today in Game 2 for the Miners, and that's a doubleheader sweep to begin the series in Kenai. Miners, 4-0 winners today. The pitching staff allows just 1 run on the day. 5 total hits for the Oilers. Once again, Willie Johnston will pick up the win for the Miners, going for a complete game shutout. The loser for the Oilers would be Ben Briggs. He went 6 innings, gave up 3 runs, and he's tagged with the loss for the Miners. We saw the offense score 7 runs across 2 games. In the latter game today, they scored on an error for their first run. Their second run was driven in by a David Bermudez RBI single, and then the RBI suicide squeeze by Josh Morozic played in run number 3. And then for their final run, David Bermudez again blasting his first home run of the year over the left field wall. The Miners 4-0 winners today in Kenai. We'll be back again tomorrow with the doubleheader. Sean will give you guys play-by-play for Game 1. I will be covering Game 2. I'll be signing off here from Kenai. Myself, Reese Landon, joined by Sean Neves. So long here from Kenai. Miners sweep the doubleheader today from the Peninsula Oilers. How about that?